Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Monday, October 7th, 2013. I'm astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, we are going through such powerful times on a large scale. When we look back at these times, these are the times of history. This is history being written right now with extreme change in our life and transformation into this new age. And in many ways, this is really starting to unveil the conscious from the unconscious. There is this extreme understanding now in our relationships and everything that we're seeing in our life. I was completely conscious here and I was completely unconscious there. Oh my gosh, pulling a Home Alone and everything on it, and we are wakening our minds up. I got some of the craziest information in my life this weekend. I am not joking. If you follow my Facebook, I don't know if you do, but it'd be great to be Facebook friends. I love talking to people. That's how, if you want to get in touch with me, Facebook is the best way. But I put up a picture of Cleopatra. Now, I know that might sound crazy, but Venus has been going through a crazy journey, and I have been starting to connect the dots back into history during the time of Cleopatra. So I recommend that you do some research, and especially about her connections in Rome and Julius Caesar. And, my whole point, though, is because I have to make a separate video to even describe all this. Seriously, it's that crazy. But what we're at right now is Venus changing signs today into Sagittarius. We've got all this energy around relationships that's shifting again, and it's going to be more shifting. I mean, it's interesting to see how powerful Venus has been the center of so much going on. A conjunction with the North Node in Saturn, which is destined energy with relationships. I mean, a North Node in Saturn is super karmic energy, and Venus conjuncted it. We can't escape some of these past life relationships and deep karmic connections. I mean, you just can't. It's just like, oh my gosh. And that's why I bring up Cleopatra, because that was some deep karmic stuff, and she was the reincarnation of Isis. And I mean, I'm going to go into a whole other video of that, but Venus comes into Sag today and starts to square Neptune. And this is a huge transit that's starting to build, and this really powerful energy in our lives of what we're manifesting, what we value, our relationships, really new doors opening in this, and big understandings now, and this polarization in your relationships that have just left Scorpio, which is unveiling the truth. Maybe how you feel about a partner, but more importantly, are we conscious together or are we unconscious? And a lot of this is dealing with our value systems and figuring out now, oh my gosh, I was unconscious, pulling the Home Alone and opening up now to where we're going to start consciously building our lives and manifesting. And it is the Sun in Libra now, which has come out of this crazy T-square and now is only going to form a square to Jupiter this week, but it is starting to get lighter load. It is starting to unveil where the harmony can be in our life. That's what this was this weekend too, of feeling things out. And today, especially, the moon's still in Scorpio. It's going to square Mars, and this is the last week of Mars in Leo. So this is about emotionally, processing so much. Mercury and Saturn have met up, which means we are stopping our thoughts into this very deep energy of what we really want in our lives. And we're feeling it, and we're starting to get down to the bottom, and universe is bringing these random people and past life relationships and karma and destiny and this change that we've got to go through in our life, and this extreme, radical change that's going to have to happen in all of our lives. It doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing. This is where the world doesn't matter and how it's been. And all these things that you valued in your life maybe have to be rethought and reprogrammed towards spirit. Spirit. Truth in your spirit. Awareness now. That we have to align our relationships in awareness. We need to align our manifestation power into awareness. We need to charge for our real heart now and our real desires, that you're going to start to see that it's the mind that was messing things up. Your doubts, your fears, your mind games that talked you out of your passions. That now it's becoming clearer than ever as Mercury and the North Node have met. Now we've got Saturn, which is meeting up with this, and now this is a karmic understanding or a karmic message that is being delivered to you directly today and yesterday and for most of the next couple days here of, oh my gosh, this is it. This is what I really want. And a moon squaring Mars today can make some people hesitant of like, what do I really do? Do I do this or do I do that? It's the mind, which you must come in and kickstart hard with. It is now seeing Venus come into Sagittarius to open things up. You know, there's a journey that we must go on, and it is leading towards the right direction, but this is a spiritual journey. That's also why I also bring up Cleopatra, because, you know, that was a radical spiritual journey that they went through, and I think it's going to be difficult to make the spiritual journey and relationships and what we value come true. There's work. There's making sure you align with your internal GPS of the universe and God. There's making sure that you're aligning with true spirituality, that you're not lost. And making sure you're not lost in your head, that there's a huge healing going on in the mind right now. Chiron is trining Mercury as this is all happening. There's this huge karmic connection with communication right now, and karmic communication having to come out with somebody or in your own inner head, or, you know, this is really powerful stuff. And we are building towards this Pluto-Uranus square, which is going to get extreme here in the next 2.5 weeks, that we are having to put the pressure on our lives to get what we really want, but it's underneath, it's under the surface now of what you want. You know, it is undeniable. And in many ways, it feels so good. You know, when you mix Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, like we're seeing with the South Node in Taurus, the North Node in Scorpio, and Mars, you know, and Leo, and even with this Libra energy, like, oh, there is an ecstasy waiting for you in your life. And it's not easy to get there. It's actually should be fun to go get to that ecstasy. You know, it should be an adventure for you that you want to go on, and that you leave these fears and these doubts of darkness that is really you just not going for your light. That you're sitting in the dark. That it's not dark to go get it. It's dark because you're not getting it, if that makes sense. It's like sitting in a dark room and just hoping that the light's going to turn on in there, but it's not. You know, it's the light that you go for now. It's reaching for it. It's destined for it. These are just the most amazing times right now. It's so karmically connected to what happened back in our past. History is repeating itself. This is bringing the extreme of past life connections together. Extreme. You know, I did the horoscope last month in September to remember. But holy cow, September was a really remember. If there were some crazy relationships that came into your life then, like you started connecting with, I'd pay attention to that time. And go back, you could. I have September to remember for like nothing. If you want to go back and find out when the Saturn, Venus, you know, North Node conjunction was, which for some reason I'm just been doing so many horoscopes, I don't know the exact date. I'm going to have to go back and I'll bring that tomorrow. And I'll bring that when I do the crazy video about Cleopatra, the connection to understanding history repeating itself in our relationships and seeing these magical but, you know, difficult to come into karmic value systems or adventures or doors opening now. There is doors opening in your life now. And they are towards ecstasy. They are towards spiritual awakening. They are towards consciousness. They are towards your awareness. But you've got to leave your unconscious realms. They're all around. They're in relationships. They're in people. We're around people that could be so unconscious, and you've got to be aware. Like, wow, it doesn't matter how much you're connected to this or whatever. It's about consciousness now. That's how this new age is going to go, with the conscious gearing with the conscious, and the conscious being there for the unconscious. But you know, in many ways, it's triggered from internally of individuals with Mars and Leo, with Uranus and Aries, of individuals having to light their own fire, and individuals needing to strike their passions. And this is what this is about, that you can't, the Libra lesson is kind of rough right now, because even though we must be there and find our connections, they're only ones with consciousness now. They're only connections that do have inner fire within themselves, that they're not needy connections. That this is connections where it's on the same team. This is twin flame energy really radically coming out. That's undeniable because you feel it. And that your mind is having to wrap its head around this right now and starting to go, oh crap. And us not to be afraid to take action for our heart. This is the last week of Mars and Leo for a couple years. And this is a week to blaze the trail towards what you really want in your life. And Monday is a kicker of that. Tomorrow is when doors start to really get opened for this. And I can't wait to talk about this. So pay attention to what this message is. Pay attention to what it is you really want, because it is your time to really go there. But to be careful, to make sure you're not misguided, that it's not a belief that's taking you in a wrong direction away from spirit, but a door that's opening towards a closer feeling to God in oneself, in your relationship. It's undeniable. It is undeniable right now. Wow. Magic. I hope you're expanding your feelings. That's the way towards your harmony right now and your comfort, because the comfiest bed is not the one you're sleeping in. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com. Not literally, by the way, spiritually. Inclusiveastrology.com if you want to have a one-on-one reading with me. Thank you guys for all of your support. I'm doing readings until next week, and then I'm done for a while. So if you want to book now, I got some slots left, and you'll get a guaranteed reading before October 18th. Thank you for all your support, and I will see you tomorrow.